The Space Wolves have returned to the Necron tomb world with visions of victory in this Maelstrom mission against the Anrakyr Attack Necron list. It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. And if you're new to the channel and you want to keep up to date with the Wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please subscribe and hit the bell button to turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. Right, today I am here with Richard, Capitan Morgan's Wargames. Hello Richard.
Hi Nick, it's good to be back again.
And we are really looking forward to this. We've got the whole day to ourselves. We're going to play a game and then we're going to make some tactical videos which you'll see on the channel in the future. And today we're playing a Maelstrom of War mission.
Visions of Victory.
Visions of Victory. And Richard has his Space Wolves. This is a new list with some new models, so it's going to be interesting. Richard, what have you got in your army?
Right, I've got the Wolf Lord in Phobos armour, the Wolfguard Battle Leader in Phobos armour, a Librarian in Phobos armour. I've got 10 Inceptors, 10 Grey Hunters. I've got the new Shadow Spear Infiltrators. And over in the far corner,
right behind that building,
are the Eliminators, which are the snipers.
Okay, from Shadow Spear.
Shadow Spear,
yep.
Yeah. Then I've got these are proxy, but two lots of suppressors from the Shadow Spear box set, because I think the suppressors will really help my Wolf and my Terminators, especially against the more shooty elements of armies.
Yep.
I've got a set of plasma long fangs with a las cannon in it. Leader's just got pistol and sword. Then 4 las cannons, leader with pistol and sword. 10 Fenris and Wolves. 6 Wolfen. 5 with Thunderhammer and shields. 1 with lightning claws. No, sorry, frost claws. Then I've got 6 Terminators. 2 with lightning claws, and then 4 with Thunderhammers. I've got Arjak Proxian as the extra.
That's just a normal Terminator, yeah.
Terminator, yeah,
okay.
Because it's just because I didn't have the 5th one, and I had a few spare points in it. To get that in.
Excellent. That's your whole army, yeah?
And that's
nothing in reserve?
Nothing in reserve. Everything's on the table.
Okay, let's have a quick look at my list. Okay, so heading up my Necron force in the battalion detachment, we've got a Cryptic with a cloak. He also has Time Splinter cloak as his warlord trait. We've then got 3 squads of Tesla Immortals, 1 just here with 6 in, and then there's 5 guys at the back there, and we have another 5 guys just here. I've got a Lord with a Warsai. I've also got 2 Doomsday Arcs making up the battalion. And then I've got an Outrider detachment in the Novok dynasty, and heading up that detachment is Anrakyr The Traveller, and he is with 10 Praetorians with the Rod of Covenant. We then have 3 squads of Wraiths, 5 in each, 1 squad there, 1 just here, 1 on that side of the table, and then 2 squads of 5 Scarabs, as you can see, deployed on my flanks. And that is my army list, coming in at exactly 2,000 points with 9 CPs. So this mission, we've got 6 objectives. Let's run over where they are. So we've got 1 just here, 1 on top of that tomb, 1 in my deployment zone here, 1 smack bang in the middle, 1 up over on that tomb, and then we've got 1 on the Bridge of the Abyss. And we've got some special rules for our terrain. So if you walk on this bridge and you roll a 1, you fall off the bridge and you die. We've also got some mines scattered across the table. These also have special rules. If you go onto the mine, you roll a dice at the beginning of your turn. If you roll a 6, you then take D3 mortal wounds. So I chose the deployment zone, and Richard set up first, giving him the choice of going first or second. So Richard, do you want to go first?
No, I'm going to allow you to go first.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, I told you I've got a plan. Whether it works or not, but that plan involves you going first.
Okay, you are quite a long distance away from me, apart from these nasty guys. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So, the Necrons have been passed first term. Okay, so this is a Maelstrom of War mission. So we've already disregarded 6 cards each. And the way this mission works is you draw 8 cards and then your opponent picks the 4 cards that you're going to use for that particular turn. So this is going to be interesting. Let's find out what cards I get. Okay, so this is going to be pretty clear. It's going to be quite hard to score points in this game, I think. So Richard has left me with these cards here. I've got Defend Objective 1 and 2. Objective 1 is that one over in the building, and Objective 2 is that one over in that building. I've also been left with the Necrons card. I have to nominate a character. If he's left at the end of the game, then I score a point. Then I've got another card where my character has to kill an enemy character, which of course that is not going to happen. So, good choosing from Richard. However, let's see what we can do as we move in to Necrons turn 1. Okay, so Necron turn 1, and the battle plans have changed slightly due to the mission and deployment. However, we have made a play for some objectives, so the Scarabs managed to advance onto that objective. I've got to hold that rather than secure it though, as the Immortals went behind the obelisks and the Wraiths just following them up in the riverbed. The middle blob here basically didn't move. I'm currently not in charge range of the Wolven, so just trying to keep out of charge range, as the Wraiths tried to hide the best they could behind this obelisk here. However, those guys with the big guns can see me. The Scarabs went into the minefield here. I did roll a dice. I didn't roll a 6. I rolled a 5, but not quite a 6, so there was no explosions. We are now into the Necron shooting phase, and first of all I'm going to shoot the Doomsday Arc here at the guys that can see my Wraiths at the moment. So I'm going to shoot these guys here. What are they called?
Suppressors.
Suppressors. Okay, so let's do this. We've got D6 shots. 6, that's not bad. Then strength 10, toughness 5 are they?
Toughness 4, I think.
Strength 10, toughness 4, 2s. All in, so that is 5 saves, minus 5 AP.
Yeah, no saves.
No saves. How many wounds have they got?
2 wounds apiece.
Okay, so that's the damage.
So they're all dead.
Yeah. So all dead. That's first blood, I assume, in this.
First strike.
First strike. Okay. Well, as they fall on the floor, look, they're devastated. Okay, so I've got one more Doomsday Arc to shoot. Okay, so I've had a look and I've decided to shoot the other squad of suppressors. Why not? So here we go. We've got D6 shots. We've got 5 this time. And then we need 2s. 3 minus 5. Did damage, yeah? I might roll 3 1s, I suppose. No, so another unit dead. Okay, so let's see what else I'm going to do. Okay, so decided to use Anrakyr's Tachyon arrow before I forget to use it for the rest of the game. So it's a once use only. It is designed really for vehicles or stuff with lots of wounds. I'm going to take a pop shot with it at some Wolven. If I get lucky, I might be able to kill one. So let's see what we can do. So first of all, we need a 2, which we get. It's strength 10. So I wound. That's minus. Well, you've got to go on your storm shield, aren't you?
Yeah.
Storm shield gets. Yeah. Okay, so that is the end of Necron turn 1. We've got the cards which I left Richard, and he has 1 Space Wolves 1, which basically means.
I've got 2 Space Wolves 1.
Yep, 2 in total. One of them is I had to choose a character, and Richard had to kill it. So I chose my Cryptic just right at the back here. And then the other one, Richard, what was that?
That's cool, objective 5, but it becomes Hunt with Cunning, which is score 1 victory point at the end of my turn if at least 1 enemy unit was destroyed in my turn. The last model in the enemy unit was slain by an attack made by a unit that was set up on the battlefield during the turn, score D3. That's not going to happen because...
yeah. So basically you've got to kill a unit for a point, and then the other ones hopefully you can't get. What was the other ones I gave you? Can't remember now.
Yes, score 1 victory point at the end of your charge phase if at least 2 friendly Space Wolf units made a successful I won't call that this turn either. It was central objective 3.
Yeah. Okay, so I basically made it as hard as I can, which I think is going to be what this mission is about.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Space Wolves turn 1. Okay, so Space Wolves turn 1, and we are in William Wallace territory. Richard has literally just turned his men around and shown me his behind. He's standing still. Okay, this is going to be quite an interesting game. Right, we're straight into the psychic phase. So Richard, what have you got?
My rune priest in Phobos Armour is going to cast Shrouding.
Okay.
On las cannon, so it means you can't target them unless they're the closest visible enemy.
Rightio. Sounds good. What do you need?
6.
Yep. Yeah, well, another 3.
Yeah. So it is a 6, it goes off.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it for the psychic phase, right. Shooting phase.
Now the all important shooting phase.
Yes. So I think basically you divide up these scarabs here. Easy first strike, potentially.
Yeah, that's it. And it's caused me be on the hunt.
Yeah.
So they're well within 24.
Come on, scarabs. They're feeling quite brave because they're standing on a dead blood angel.
Yeah, well, let's hope.
Look at that. It did explode previously.
10 shots from these.
Okay.
Don't want to hit.
9 shots, you mean?
Yeah.
10 shots on these guys.
Any 6s are auto wound. So I've got 1 automatic wound.
Yeah. So you need 3s.
Yeah. So those. And then strength 4.
Toughness 3.
So
Okay, 5. 4 on the automatic one, yeah?
Yeah. And there's no AP and
Okay, so I get 5 plus cover save them.
yeah.
We save 3 of them, so 1 wound each, is it?
Yeah, 1 wound each.
Yep,
Yeah.
so we get 2 wounds. Okay, so we've got some overcharged plasma cannons coming into these little scarabs here.
So 3d3 shots. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because I've nominated them, they're going to be my. I get to reroll 1s against them.
Rightio. Do you think you're going to need it?
Possibly. I've got a little. I've got reroll wounds as well from my.
Oh yeah, of course you have. Of course you have.
So
no 1s.
no 1s. So strength 8. So 2s.
Yep.
No need 2. So
Okay, and that's minus something.
it's -3.
Minus 3. Right, of course, no saves from that, so I lost 3 scarab bases in total.
Then the las cannon's going to shoot in there, of course.
Yeah, 1 last cannon.
It hits. Wounds.
Yeah, damage.
It doesn't.
You might roll a 1.
Yeah.
You don't know. Okay, so the guy standing on the blood angel is left. Okay, so Richard eyed everything up. The way I took the dead off meant that some things couldn't shoot. However, we do have 6 intercessors rapid firing in. So can these 6 guys kill a lonely scarab? Let's find out. In range, so got to get to re-roll that.
So all hit.
Yep.
Strength 4, toughness 2.
Yeah, 3, toughness 3, yeah.
So 3, but I get
All in.
that's all.
6. Minus.
No minus.
No minus. I need some good dice rolls here. We need 5s on the cover. Well, so that's a very good dice roll, but it's not good enough. So the scarab swarms are dead, so that's first strike to Richard.
And the point for the.
You got your point.
On the hunt.
Yeah.
So that's 2 points.
2 points, yeah.
So that gives me a little leeway.
You've still got some stuff to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 last cannon long fangs onto my wraith unit.
So can't re-roll those,
Okay.
unfortunately, but I can re-roll 3s. But I don't need to re-roll -4.
Minus-
Minus 3.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you minus 20 on those.
Yeah, you got 3. You got the up in.
So 3 plus in 1 takes a wound, but how much damage is it? 6, so 1 wraith dead. Okay, so that is actually the end of the Space Wolves turn, and they scored 2 points in that turn. Right, so let's move in.
Oh no, hang on.
No.
Oh, I forgot. I've got these to shoot.
Oh, okay. We're back. We're back.
So I'm going to use those.
Hold on, Rich. I need to explain this. This. Right, so I've just been told that these guys hiding behind the tomb can shoot. Not only that, they can target my character. So this is a massive surprise for me. So my cryptic is going to be shot at by three. What are they called?
Three eliminators.
Eliminators.
With mortis rounds.
Okay. So here we go then.
So here.
Take my dice out if
it's
you want.
alright. I get 2 to this. So
okay. They might taint your dice. They're going to taint your dice.
So one does miss.
One misses.
Oh no! I add to it, don't I? I add 2 to that.
2 to the hits, do you?
Yeah, 2 to the hit rolls.
Okay, so it becomes a 3.
That becomes a 3, and that becomes a 4. So
Okay.
they're all hit.
All hit.
Strength 4, toughness 4.
Toughness 4, yep.
So 4s. So 1 goes through.
Okay.
-1.
Yep, no mortal wounds because you didn't get a 6, no?
There's the other.
But they don't have that.
The other round. They have the other rounds, but.
Oh, okay. So just get my normal save then, yeah? Not saved. I've got an after save though, because of the cloak.
Yeah.
Which I don't get either, so it's wounded.
-1, 1 wound.
1 wound. Okay, so that is definitely the end of the Space Wolves turn. 1 wound on the cryptic, which I'm obviously going to get back with living metal. However, I need to sort these guys out. These are nasty. As Richard racks up 2 points, and we move in to the Necrons, turn 2. Okay, so I disregarded 1 card and Richard replaced it after drawing a couple of cards. So now I've got Psychological Warfare. So basically I have to make Richard do a morale check. Has he got to do a failed one or just make one? A fail morale check. And then I've got Defend Objective 2, which is the one up over there. I've moved my Wraiths towards that way. I've also advanced them using the Stratagem. I need a 11-inch charge. We'll see what happens there. Then I've got Defend Objective 2, so I've moved the Scarabs just towards those scouts, are trying to assault them. So, not too much change on my cards. So, we're into the shooting phase. I have moved, well, I've moved something. Anyway, these guys here actually stayed exactly where they were. Just the Wraiths and the Scarabs moving. We're now in the shooting phase. My next target is the Plasma Cannon Longfangs. I can't shoot the last cannon ones because of Richard's special rule. So, let's do this. So, Doomsday Arc, first squad on the Longfangs. Get 2 shots. I will command point that.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
1 shot. It always happens, doesn't it? So we got 1 shot. Needing 3s and 2s, and that's going to be cover save -5, 1 dead. Okay, and then the second Doomsday Arc gets 3 shots. I'll stick with that. Needing 3s, re-rolling the 1 because of Nihilic. Strength 10, 2s, 2 more dead.
So 1, 2.
Okay, possible failed morale check, maybe, but could be hard to do that. Right, so that is all of my shooting, so we're now into the assault phase. Let's go down here with the Wraiths. We've got some Overwatch to come though first. Overwatch coming in.
6 is generate.
Auto
wounds.
Yeah.
So there's 2. Take another 2 from this lot. Another 2. So that's 4 auto wounds.
4 auto wounds, so 4 saves effectively, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 1 wound, and then we need my assault range, so we're looking for 11. Not quite, 7. Okay, so we're not into assault. Next up is the Scarabs, just over there. A short range, however. Richard, do you want to do your Overwatch again?
Yeah, it would be mortis round, so because I don't need line of sight here.
1 6. Another 6.
That's -1 total.
-1. I'm in the cover, so 6 plus save. No, so it's
So 1 wound.
1 wound. Okay, and then my assault range
You should make it.
definitely in with 8 inches.
Yeah.
Okay, so the scarabs assaulting the scouts. So first of all, we need 4s. We are Novok, so we get to re-roll all of those misses. Okay, so the re-rolls. So we got, well, 1 extra hit from that. Right, so we're strength 3, but we auto wound on 5s anyway, so here we go. So 3 saves in total.
And then so 2
die.
1 dies.
1 dies with 2 wounds each, yeah. Okay, yeah, Primaris. However, I am on the objective, so I do get a point for that. So now all we've got to do is a morale check. So if Richard fails this, this will give me another point. So what do you need?
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, okay, it's worth a go.
Yeah.
Right, so that is the end of the Necron turn 2. So let's see what the Space Wolves can do next. Okay, so Space Wolves turn 2. A bit of shuffling up with the cards. I gave Richard psychological warfare, so he has to make me fail a morale check also. And now Richard is going to decide whether he's going to move or he's going to turn around and show me his backside again.
I am actually just going to show.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I will.
He's changing his mind. We'll let Richard do what he's going to do off camera. Oh, he's going to do something. What are you doing?
So it's 15 inches for my.
Oh, the Wolven.
For my.
Oh, the Venrisians, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, oh!
So pretty much.
Okay, they're making a play. They're scared of my scarabs. Okay, so first of all, these guys shooting into my wraiths.
Hitting 3s. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 6s. 1, 2. Water wounds.
Okay. Toughness 5, so
5s.
7 saves altogether. We get 3. Oh, that's not a great roll. Okay, so 1 dead and 1 on 1 wound. Next up, we've got some long fangs.
No.
No?
Intercessors.
Intercessors. Okay.
So,
Let's remove my dice for you.
2, 4, 6, 8. Re-rolling 1s because of the Lord and re-rolling. So 1 fail. Strength 4.
Toughness
So
5.
5, but I can re-roll roll the 1 because of
1 re-roll then. Another 4 saves. Save that time, that's more like it.
2 plasma overcharging. So it's 6, 2, 4.
This is the long fangs, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Re-rolling 1's
Good job.
yeah, so
2's miss.
2's miss. Now, strength 8. So 3s, but I get re-roll so failed wounds.
Strength 8 plasma now though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to be 7, didn't they?
They are 7, but if I overcharge,
Ah, that's what the overcharge does, yeah?
yeah, I'm going to re-roll 1 of those. So well, 1 of them was a fail. So 3 went through at -3, but
Right.
you've got it.
Okay, so 3 saves and 1 goes through.
So
1, he's
so
dead,
he's
yeah.
dead.
So 3 wraiths left. Okay, so that's all the shooting done. So we're now into the assault with the scarabs and the 2 scouts that are left.
5 attacks.
5 attacks.
I didn't attack with them last time, did I?
I can't remember, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, no, do you want to do it twice?
No, I'd only do it once. And strength 4.
Toughness 3, yeah.
I could have even
3s.
1 go through.
1 save. No, that's a wound. Do you want to show you an attack from the last time?
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's my mistake.
Okay, so my attack's back, needing 4s. Okay, you need big hands to play this game. 5s. Okay, so there were 6 wounds in total. Here comes the saves.
1
1
failed.
Okay,
So 1 wound.
1 wound. Okay, so the assault continues. Richard didn't score any points that turn. So we're now going to move into the Necron turn 3. Okay, so these are the cards I now have. So I still have Defend Objective 2, which is the one up over by the Wraiths. I have Domination, control every objective marker, and I also have Advance, none of my units in my deployment zone. So yeah, I haven't got too much that I can do there. However, over here is a possibility. So I'm going to use 2 CPs and I'm going to try to get some of these guys back. So I'm basically going to give them RP. So on a 5+, they come up. Wish me luck. Come on! None. Okay, so there's no other RPs or living metal to do. So I'm going to move and we'll be back. Okay, so I have moved this time. Some very tactical decisions being made here. So I've moved the Tesla Immortals and the Wraiths just up towards this objective here. And then these guys in the middle just stood where they were. These guys just moved around from the back just to hide behind this obelisk. The Wraiths are trying to secure this objective here. I've got to defend it actually, not secure it. So 2 turns. I'm hiding behind there from that blob of shooting. However, we've got these guys here, so this is going to be my target priority. So I'm going to shoot both Doomsday Arcs into these. Okay, so I managed to take half of the unit off, so 5 guys were killed. We did the assault over here. I did no damage and I lost a wound off a Scarab Swarm. So Richard, morale check time. So what is their leadership? We're just looking it up.
8.
Leadership 8, and you've lost 5, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is the reroll. A 4 plus 5, 9. So one more.
Yeah, so one more. Keep the sergeant.
Sergeant still lives. Right.
Sergeant and the helix still live.
So that was the end of Necron turn 3. I had no cards that I could get any points. So Richard's task really is probably to kill these guys to stop me getting that point next turn. But it does depend what cards he draws, so we'll be back. Okay, so Space Wolves turn 3. Richard now has Kingslayer. He also has the other cards, which means killing him gives him points, so that's a big target for him, but difficult to do at the moment. He also has to make 2 successful charges in 1 turn for the other card. And you've got something else which you can't do as well. Yeah. So the cards, as we suspected, are really tough to do. We're both on 1 point each at the moment, plus first strike. Okay, so Space Wolves turn 3. A valiant attempt to kill these guys. These just moved up, got into range, a sneaky head popping out from the Wraith. They managed to shoot and kill them, along with the long fangs with the plasma cannons. He used a stratagem allowing them to move and shoot normally. So managed to kill a Wraith just there with these shooting in as well. However, it wasn't quite enough, so I'm going to score that point in my turn. Over here, the assault continued. I lost a Scarab base and I killed 1 more scout, just 1 scout standing. Oh yes, and also the other squad of Longfangs with the last cannon shot into this squad of Wraiths, killing 1 and wounding another 1. Right, let's move in to turn 4 for the Necrons. Okay, so once again I've got useless cards. I've got Scour the Sky, there's no fly units on the table. Control critical mission objective. I rolled a 5, which is the one all the way over in Richard's deployment zone, so that isn't going to happen. And then I have the advance, which isn't going to happen, and this one happens at the end of the game. Right, let's see what I can do. Okay, so Necron turn 4. So once again I tried to get these back here. 4 dice. I didn't roll a 5 this turn. However, I did take a big chunk of these guys out with a Doomsday Arc. With 1 remaining. I think this guy can generate some of the unit back each turn, is that right?
Yep.
Special rule?
On the 5. No.
No? Okay. And then my other Doomsday Arc targeted the Longfangs with the plasma cannons. I'd love to shoot the last cannon guys, but Richard has that special rule where I can't shoot them at the moment. I did kill both of the last cannon guys as well. And then over this side of the table I moved the Immortals forward into range, killed a chunk of the Fenrisian Wolves plus the leadership. There's just 3 guys left behind the building. Over here I took 1 wound off the scout and lost a wound on my Scarab. and these guys just retreated back after taking some losses here, just keeping the wraiths in this centre area of the table. So I managed to get 2 points for defending that objective, taking me up to 3. Richard is currently on 1, and once again we've both got first strike. Okay, so not too much change on the cards here. He now has heroic intervention. Hopefully he's not going to be able to do that. We've got some movement though. Okay, so Space Wolves turn 4. So Richard still held the cards to make 2 assaults to get a point. So he sacrificed that guy there, assaulted the wraiths. Of course I killed him in the assault, but with that assault and the Fenrisian wolves that were left just getting into combat with the scarabs, they gave him a point. I lost a scarab base. I did kill the scout, however Richard did a re-roll and kept him alive, so the scout is still there behind the building. Other than that, we did have some moving, so the big blob of Terminators and Wolven are now cowering behind the generator as the Grey Hunters went on the bridge grabbing that objective. No ones were rolled. And then these guys here, pain in the bum, managed to shoot into my wraiths. I now have just 1 wraith here on the objective. So we're going to move in now to turn 5 for the Necrons, potentially the last turn. Okay, so Necron turn 5. Necron! So what did I do? Started off with reanimation protocol on these here using my last 2 command points. I managed to get 1 wraith back. I then advanced here right next to the objective. The other wraiths that were hiding back here have now gone over into this position as the Immortals assaulted the Fenrisian wolves. The scarabs have at long last killed the last scout. This Doomsday Ark moved over there in that position and shot its lowered power weapon at these guys, just killing 1 of them. Over this side of the table, these here just cowered behind that little tomb. And then in the middle I moved these guys backwards. These stayed still and shot the Terminators. 10 wounds, but they saved everything. And then Anrakyr and the Praetorians are just standing there. Basically, I'm going to find out what Richard is going to do. Okay, so I've just moved outside just to tell you basically what my plan is without Richard hearing. So I'm basically trying to feed him units. So I've put the wraiths in the open, nowhere near an objective, try to draw his Wolfen over towards the other wraiths. The 2 wraiths in the middle objective are trying to get line breaker. They're just in his deployment zone, but I didn't want to point that out to Richard because obviously he's probably worked it out, but you know, just in case. So that was the idea really. I'm basically trying to feed him units. I've put the Praetorians in a blob in the centre, trying to stop any multi-charges, etc. So that's what I'm up to. Right, back to the battle report. Okay, I'm going to have a look at Richard's cards and try to find him the worst ones that I can. Okay, so I gave Richard domination to control all the objectives, and he's got to try and get the objective up here on the Doomsday Ark with his Warlord. So hopefully he won't do that. Okay, let's find out what happens in Space Wolves turn 5. Okay, so turn 5 for the Space Wolves, and all command points have now been used. So these guys, along with the last cannon Longfangs, shot into my wraiths, killing them both. The Terminators then moved out and charged my 2 wraiths. The Terminators didn't assault very well, rolling really badly. I only had 2 wounds to save, and I failed them both, and both wraiths died. However, over here I did manage to kill off the 3 Fenrisian wolves and then just consolidated onto the objective. And then over here the Wolven managed to get into the assault with Anrakyr and the Praetorians, killing 6 Praetorians in the assault and taking 5 wounds off of Anrakyr. I assaulted back and I did 1 wound on one of the Wolven. And that was it. So Richard didn't get any points that turn. So we need to find out if the game is going to go on. So on a 1 or 2 the game ends. A 2. I've got 5 points in total and Richard has 3 plus line breaker. So it's going to be a Necron victory by 1 point. Okay, so there you go. What a fun game that was. Slightly different than we expected. we were expecting sort of full-on assault, but
Yeah, no,
it didn't quite happen. Predicted by the mission, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really?
and the map, it made it. I mean, I had the plan of sitting back and allowing you to come to me and try and whittle the race down, because they're the ones that were always going to call to me. I hate them if I am not playing Thousand Sons or Wilder, because I haven't got anything to get through that 3+ invul. Yeah, so I had to sit back, shoot, and then try and counter assault with the Terminators, and the Wolfen was the idea.
Yeah,
and that's what I did. But you sat back as well, which made it a really cagey game.
Yeah, especially, I mean, the mission obviously dictating that, really, because it's so difficult to get points. But there's always going to be a close game. There's always going to be about 1 or 2 points difference.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got the addition of the new Primaris stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think of them?
Well, it was a shame you shot the suppressors off the ball first turn, but
I have no idea what they did, but I just didn't like the look of them.
You didn't really have much for me to shoot with them, because the idea with them is you shoot, kill a model in a unit, and they can't overwatch, and then you're charging units. And I think with Wolves being a melee-based army, they were useful, but the infiltrators did good. The eliminators caught you off guard with that mortis round, with no line of sight needed. And as I said, the infiltrators, you deploy after you, before first battle round, 9 inches away from your enemy deployment zone, and they have a 12-inch Omni Scrambler, which means your opponent can't deep strike within 12 inches of them. So it's quite a useful, especially if you're coming up against Gene Stealers and stuff like that. So the new Primaris stuff has a lot there to offer tactically.
Yeah, and it seems like, from what I can see, the new Primaris stuff is, they've almost got like 8th edition special rules, which is what normal Marines are lacking, aren't they?
Yeah, the rules have been specifically written for this edition, and maybe that's where they need to go back and rewrite the Space Marine Codex to update, refresh, and give them that chance to be competitive again.
Okay, well there you go. So thank you for watching, and if you're not subscribed yet, start now. Hit the Edic Beer icon. And if you want to watch some more battle reports of Richard and myself playing, then check out that video just there. I'm going to start that again, so it's just rubbish.
Okay.
No, we'll just leave it.
Not too bad.
Beam me up.